Game 2 of White Wolf versus Brew City. Um, but during the quick break we had here, Nickel noticed some comments going on in the chat. So, Nickel, why don't you take that off there?
So it looks like Sojourn was, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. He was asking what the Brew City Brawlers' record were, and we took a quick look. Looks like that they're 0-1-2. They have one game. That's correct. Kenos. I'm sorry. I never did it before, but I did it now. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
But yeah, they did a 0-1-2, winning only one game for the LCUS. But yeah, that's the record.
Yeah,
But again,
I mean, just for the sake of the viewers, I'm going to pull up the standings. They are not complete now, of course. These are still the standings from the beginning of the of today's games. But yeah, you can see where we're kind of looking at here. So that is yeah, that's where we're at with that, and hopefully the Brawlers can come back because nobody likes to just have one game under their belts. So I think they do have
for
the
sure.
opportunity to come back from this initial the initial somewhat faltering that they had there, um, and we'll have to see how they manage to work it out. What do you think they can do different in this next game?
Well, I do have to say that it seems like Red Side has been OP for today. So maybe, well, maybe we'll have an act of God that the Red Side is giving people's advantage today. But I feel like that we're gonna have to see a little bit more of not team comp, but more of communication between them. Because it just seems like that they were out of place the last game. They need to have a little bit more word coverage to be able to see those that roam. So we'll just have to see if they were able to take what they had last game and be better on it. Hopefully they will be able to, but we'll have to just see.
And Sojourn says that you did a admirable job pronouncing their name.
Yeah, thank you.
I won't be denied.
It's Icelandic. Yeah, it looks Icelandic. Yep. Here we go. We got the banning phase going on. Sejuani right off the bat. Do not want to deal with that.
Yeah, gotta get that CC out of there. That natural tankiness, that CC, all very dangerous. Gotta get lucky says that the blue side equals lag for days. So maybe there is something to that, and we'll see if White Wolf suffers from some lag.
See that? Can't blame our servers. We're working off of Raito's servers right now.
And as they had to suffer in the last game as well, Brew is still, who has now moved over to the right-hand side, is still unable to use their first set of bans due to the substitutions.
Alright.
Getting that Warwick
Apologies
ban
again,
out as
guys.
well.
Ah, man. I gotta feel bad for Tilted Squirtle. I mean, if he's the jungler, they're definitely targeting him. Throw him a bone, guys. I'm not saying that because Warwick was one of the bans.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially after how rough that first game was, it's got to feel pretty bad not getting able to pick up some of the better junglers.
For sure. I mean, he did have a decent jungler, and Kane is one of... I'm not 100% sure on this, but probably one of the better junglers in the game so far.
At least in the LCUS, if not in the, professional.
Correct. With how long we've seen him be banned out every single game, I mean, that's a pretty accurate assumption for us, at least. With our friendly little play here.
Alright, so with that last ban not getting picked up, we should be moving into our first actual picks. Let's see what Prowler goes with.
Another thing for Brew City Brawlers that I'm kind of curious about is if they actually were, like you said in the first game, were using their picks to try to ban, quote-unquote, champs for the opposing team. Now, again, the picks they were kind of picking were champs that I feel like people would be comfortable with, but maybe they should go for... There's the Yorick pick right out of the gate. That's going to be a headache again. But it's going to be interesting to see if maybe they... Yasuo. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit shaken from that. I haven't seen Yasuo yet in this. But again, like, pick champ just to finish what I was saying. Pick champs that you're more comfortable with, so that you can actually play with champs that you know inside and out, and maybe you'll do a little bit better than trying to ban people from the opposing team. Just my thought.
Mm-hmm.
But you know.
Yeah, most definitely. And interesting to see that they're taking the Yasuo. I was actually thinking, like you said, using picks as bans that they might try to take out Anivia or something like that. Because Anivia is, of course, a very strong champion. Lots of people can be very successful with her. But instead they're going with this Yasuo comp. And I'm guessing the comp is going to be based around the Yasuo then. So we're looking for more knock-up-centric champions, like maybe a Malphite top lane.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to see. Looks like we're getting a little bit of the same, except for the Master Yi jungle going for... Or, I'm assuming that's Master Yi jungle. We'll have to see.
Master Yi mid lane.
Mid lane. Top lane. ADC Master Yi, that's what they're going for. ADC Master Yi. Alistair bot! Or Alistair mid, sorry.
Alright. So here we go with the next set. There goes the Anivia. Alright.
There goes the Ice Bird.
I'm actually a little surprised that they didn't pick the Ice Bird. I mean, assuming Wolf would have wanted Anivia again, I'm surprised they didn't pick her earlier. Because, you know, Master Yi isn't someone that's going to get banned, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't really seen Master Yi in LCUS, and it's not really somebody you think of, I mean, with how cheap of a character he is, but, you know, personal biases aside. But,
And also, I suppose Anivia may not necessarily be the best against a Yasuo, simply because his wind wall can easily stop any of her stuns.
Mm-hmm. And the Caitlyn ban again.
Yeah,
again, a little bit questionable from my thoughts here.
Yeah, definitely they don't seem to want that Caitlyn, but it's also possible that they could... Oh, they have Lucian. I was going to say they could pick up Xayah, but they're not going to. Alright, so Nunu, interesting. I'm not seeing a lot in the... help the Yasuo land here. You know, that's a little bit better. Volibear's a little bit better. Cho'Gath even better.
Better, yeah.
Alright, there we go.
We're getting better.
Yeah, that's more like it.
They're hearing you.
We're not only getting more meta, but we're also helping the Yasuo. All good things.
Yep.
Cho, of course, a very, very strong pick. I believe still a very strong pick. No one's told me they've nerfed him.
No, yeah, he's still a pretty strong pick. Again, no one's told me yet either, but I agree with you so far.
Alright, so all we've got left, theoretically, is the jungle pick for Brew City once White Wolf is done picking up their characters. We have Xayah again, no surprise.
Again, interesting that they didn't decide to ban Xayah compared to the Caitlyn. They might know something I don't, but I feel like that Xayah is going to be more of an annoyance than Caitlyn could be. Just my humble opinion.
For 1 second there, I thought we were going to get LeBlanc, and that could have been cool. Nothing wrong with Orianna, of course, for all you Orianna lovers out there.
Orianna.
But also, she doesn't have much in the way of escapes. So we'll see what kind of jungle we get here out of Brucey that might be able to take advantage of that.
Sure.
Okay. Yasuo Cho'Gath jungle? Cho'Gath jungle would make more sense than Yasuo jungle, right?
Yes. But I assume that Cho'Gath is jungle.
Okay. Alright, so Cho'Gath jungle, Yasuo probably top then.
I'm not sure how Yasuo goes up against Yorick.
Yeah, that could be a little interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, considering how... I mean, it's possible Veigar could be top. I don't know how well that would work either. But we'll have to see how it goes. Assuming Yasuo's top, Yorick's aggressiveness might be able to melt through him pretty quickly, considering how squishy Yasuo can be. Of course, Yasuo's natural shield can help quite a bit in that sort of situation. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what the actual setup is here.
Yep. One thing for Brew City, too, I mean, they do have... I wonder if they're going to be a little bit more... Because we're having trouble thinking of if Yasuo is going to go top or mid, or Veigar is going to go top or mid.
Hmm.
They do have the ability, like if Yasuo is doing bad, Vigar could easily just go up top and put that Yorick in his place.
Hmm.
But we'll have to see. The potential is there, but their communication is going to be on points for that and the opportunities that come from it, because that river can be dangerous for a Vigar going from mid to top, especially with Master Yi jungle there.
Hmm. So,
That's
something
gonna
else worth noting: Lucian seems to have teleport,
Yeah,
and
taking from some advice from me when I took a Lucian teleport the other day, but no.
Yasuo has heal. So this is interesting. A little less top lane mobility then, but ADC mobility. So
Guess that's a thing.
yeah,
Unless we're seeing Lucian top, it's been done.
it,
I have seen it.
I'm sure it has, but I'm not sure that you want a Yasuo bot lane. I suppose a Veigar could be bot lane, but I don't think you want that either.
Vigar ADC with Blitzcrank. Oh boy. This is going to be the game, Kenos, that they're just going to screw with my brain.
Gotta Get Lucky seems to suggest that they forgot to swap. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but we'll have to see.
Get to swap? No, they didn't. Yeah, I don't think they did.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah,
if they
they did
did or
not.
not, but again, we'll have to see how how it plays out. I mean, it's possible they're doing something different or things of that nature. Of course, with two different subs, it's hard to know who's flexible and who isn't
Hmm.
in those sorts of
That's very
areas.
true.
Okay, we've talked enough about the Brawlers team. Looking at Wolf, of course, they do have a relatively, a little more, let's say, standard with a tank top, tank support um, type of work. Master Yi, of course, can be very deadly if he gets fed, but also very squishy and also practically worthless if he gets shut down. So if he does end up not, doing too well in the gank department, it's possible he could be a non-factor. With the 20 seconds left, what do you think about Wolf's team?
I do think that the comp is there, especially with how Master Yi. But again, if he gets shut down early, he gets shut down. But if he gets the momentum going, no pun with Ghost and his ult. But if he gets the momentum going, he has high potential to just go anywhere on the map and just do ganks and just keep on moving forward.
And I mean, we did see the
Uh,
Zaya do very well last game as well. So seeing
exactly.
a repeat of that is probably something that Brew would like to avoid, but may also be unavoidable just considering what the lineup
Right.
is.
Yep. Yep. We'll have to see what happens here. We're going into the game now. Time for the skin analysis, of course, but we've had a lot of teams having all five. Again, we have all five for White Wolf Gaming, it looks like.
Oh man,
So,
I don't know if I think I might have to give this to White Wolf again. Um, really quick
they
loading.
do have they do have a project skin on each one though, and I know how you like those project skins.
Yeah, but just the Yorick skin is just so good as well. That kind of gives
True.
the edge over to them, I feel. All right, I'm organizing the team based on how I think the lineup will be.
Apparently, Raito thinks that Blitzcrank is going to be jungle. I say no, sir.
No, sir.
And apparently, it's thought Lucian was going to be mid and Vigar was going to be the ADC. Again, I say no, sir. Yeah, got White Wolf pretty good again.
It's also worth pointing out that just in terms of project skins as well, I think Yeez is a little more streamlined. So, he doesn't have that big floof of hair behind him.
Yep,
He's got a little floof.
just a little bit of a floof.
It looks like
Not to
Lucian's
me.
trying to be top lane.
They're already screwing with us. I mean, it's been. So does that mean that Yasuo is the ADC?
I mean, I guess you pair up a Blitzcrank and a Yasuo. Assuming you guys don't get destroyed by the time Yasuo hits 6, you do have a free proc for his ult every 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we're gonna get some heavy invasion here. Nothing really to come of it though. They do have a nice ward there to see them. Guys, they can see you.
Blitzcrank did take pull first.
He's ready to go fishing. He's a man that knows what he wants.
Well, he wants to go the other direction from the rest of his team. All
Hey
right,
man,
so
not always the same.
so jungle's a little bit slower for Brew City, or not Brew City, Wolf. No, that is Brew City. That's fine. Colors are weird. Um, just because of that attempt at invade. So that may play into a factor as well, as Yi is already on to his next camp.
Although top lane might be interesting because we have Yorick who has good harass and a little bit tankiness, but he's also against a Lucian now. So that might... Lucian does have the range, and that might be a little bit dangerous for Yorick. I have to see how that plays out. But...
Alright, I should probably switch the scoreboard around and have Lucian be top. That hurts a little bit, guys, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is interesting. We want interesting games, and we have interesting games. Blitzcrank getting caught out a little bit by a headbutt. Yasuo is really trying to utilize his tornado to get some good hits off. It's also worth noting that Yasuo has also gotten the relic shield. So more natural durability with the shield out of Yasuo, which of course will help him survive the inevitable pokes that he will be getting from Xayah.
For sure.
Lucian's in a
Darian might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Has to flash out of there to survive.
Yeah, his dash is on a long cooldown, so that's probably going to come back to get him a couple of times. Though Prowler is pretty low, or comparatively low on health.
And again, that poke is showing itself with Lucian. And depending what his runes are. I wonder if he took Fleet Footwork. I think that's the one it's called.
I'm not
Give him
sure.
natural healing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how bot lane's communication is going here. Blitzcrank has pulled Alistar a couple of times, but Yasuo never really seems to react. That is the one danger, or one of several dangers of being a Yasuo bot lane against an Alistar, is that you can't ever really go in on it. I mean, you if you're a ranged ADC in the bot lane, if you go in on Alistar, you can get some poke on him because you're out of the range of his Q. But if you are Yasuo, you always have to be in melee range, which means you're always getting knocked up.
He's able to capitalize on that a little bit, but they're kind of losing the fight. So Maya-chan getting dangerously low, but able to walk away totally fine with the Xayah, able to put some cover fire.
Yeah, Veigar taking a lot of damage from the Orianna as well. So lane's not going the best for the Brew City Brawlers here.
Trying to make it interesting for us, at least.
Yeah.
That's what they're aiming for.
And
so
I mean,
far.
the Lucian is doing pretty well.
I feel like that late game is going to be interesting, though, for Brew City Brawlers, and that's going to be the long wait for them, though.
Yeah.
Because during that time, they have to make sure that they don't feed, they stay alive, and to have good laning phases all around, where they have good CS and able to not get ganked like top lane is getting ganked.
Yeah. Lucian's got to get bit a little bit there. But manages to get out with that dash. Yeah. I mean, in the world where Brew City manages to take this to late game, and they manage to get all three of their carries fed, I think they're in a good spot. They just need to get to that point.
Again, Kenos, am I just in a time machine, and is it actually Wednesday and not Sunday? Because
it's actually Thursday.
Gotta go back in time. Anyways.
So,
sorry,
Veigar's doing some nice warding. So, Bruce is spreading a lot more ward coverage than they had before, which is good. We'll see if they're able to keep it up through the majority of the game. It's really impressive that Yasuo and Blitzcrank are able to establish this much presence. I'm wondering if Wolf is waiting for Master Yi to get down there and they're just keeping the lane available for him, or if they're that concerned about the pull and damage potential of Blitzcrank and Yasuo.
For sure. I mean, the threat is definitely there. I mean, we've been knocking the bot lane, but the threat is there. If Blitzcrank and Yasuo are able to get their combo off, I feel like that's going to be dangerous for a team. Prowler getting some heavy damage from Lucian. Also trying to get as much damage on Maya-chan as he can.
About to get just absolutely destroyed here, assuming that he's able to get stuff done. He does not have his flash. Somehow manages to get out of there just by walking.
Surprising.
He didn't have a dash, he didn't have a flash, he just decided, okay, I'm gonna go home. And he does.
Yeah, this is gonna be dangerous for Andy. Does the heal, try to get...
Does the heal and also a really good wall. Good knockup. He may get out of this. He does. Wow.
Well done.
Yeah. I mean, both Yasuo and Lucian managing to survive when I would have said they were not going to.
And here comes a gank.
Oh, that may not actually be a
Alistair.
good choice.
First blood to the Yasuo.
Awesome. Good job for the Yasuo. Coming back in there. I thought that was a really risky play, but he managed to make it work, and he got first blood out of it, which will really help make him more of a presence in the bot lane.
For sure. You have to say that really is helping him out. I mean, that natural healing from killing those minions is helping out, even with Blitzcrank having it as well.
Not only that, but also it can't be overstated how much work his passive has been doing this game.
For sure.
Just,
exactly.
Two natural shields just gives Yasuo that extra bit of tankiness that he really needs to survive longer.
Exactly. Truffle's going in on trying to keep Maya-chan off. Honest, not often.
Yeah,
God,
well,
boy, English language not with me today.
Oh, 35 stacks on the Veigar, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, that damage spike, when it hits, it's gonna suck for that Orianna.
Yeah, and Lucian, you know, despite his range advantage, a little behind in the CS lead top lane.
Behind, but not terribly behind. I mean, he's definitely establishing his presence in the top lane, because I feel like when he's doing his poke wars against Prowler, he's able to come out on top.
Yeah, but now Yasuo's damage is now just going to start really spiking because he has started acquiring both attack speed and critical strike items. So we'll have to see if he's able to continue this, relatively impressive performance in the bot lane, it has to be said.
For sure. All jokes aside,
Alistair coming in, really good shield there by the Yasuo. Pull. We'll see if they're able to get this done. There will be a knockup coming and an ult. Flash
not
burned.
able to capitalize on it though.
Yeah. Not the greatest capitalization in the world, but I think they're both going to get out of it. Nope. Blitzcrank may not. Yasuo's probably going too deep here. Yeah, that was a bad decision there.
Trouble. Yay.
Yeah. And I mean that
Tried his best.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's something we've seen before out of Brew City, is that they just the decision making isn't always there.
For sure. They just go too far deep. I mean, as a Yasuo, I mean, you do think that you have the world on your shoulders and able to do it, but unfortunately wasn't able to capitalize. And Tilted Squirrel's going to get caught, unable to capitalize on the Yorick.
Oh, but Truffle gets a good catch there on the Orianna.
Yeah, that Orianna responds in kindness.
Yeah, I mean, no one. We're at the point in the game right now where people are dangerous, but no one is really, burst dangerous yet.
For sure.
So
No delete buttons as of yet.
Yeah, so it's definitely just more poke and then who wins the trades. And Lucian might be in a little bit of trouble here. He just used his dash to go in.
Questionable, Darian. Very 1-for-1, but
Yeah, I mean,
that's probably the best he could have made out of it.
Yeah, in that situation, he was probably just figuring that he was going to get taken out by level 7.
Ooh, that damage from Truffles.
Ooh, missed that.
Excuse me.
He is at 66 stacks, though. So, I mean, that is definitely...
Yeah. You just missed the delete button from his... Oh, man, that was hard to watch. Sorry to the Orianna.
Yeah, those abilities that are increased based on missing health are always a little frightening to see, depending on which side of it you're on.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what But yeah, again, we're starting to get to the mid game, and we're getting into to see how dangerous that Bruce City Brawlers can actually be. Like you said, we're still in that part of the game where nobody can pretty much do enough burst to make people deathly afraid.
Right. Yeah,
Getting close.
Yeah, I mean, Vagar obviously is the exception.
Vigar is already there, but everybody already knows that.
Right. Yasuo is trying to go deep, but once again, they're just kind of blowing everything on the Alistar, who's actually soloing the Yasuo right now. Good knockup. Tries to follow up, but there is no one there to help him. Yi comes in, and Yasuo goes down.
Yeah.
Good follow-up
Again, they
there
had
by
a
the
pretty...
Yi.
He had pretty good teamwork at the beginning of the game, but now it seems to be falling apart, especially with that Master Yi coming in down to help.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And there goes first turret. Yeah, I mean, it is a little unfortunate to see. I mean, because like you said, there was some beginning dominance there, or at least, you know, beginning presence there. Squirtle misses the knock-up there. Flash does get burned by the Yorick. So they did manage to get a flash out of that. Ocean Drake gets taken by White Wolf. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if Yasuo's early success in the bot lane was because Yasuo can be that good of a presence and that was a good idea, or if it was just because of early concerns about how to handle it. But Yasuo is really going to get picked off here. Ooh, good play by the Orianna, preventing him from getting out of there. But he does manage to flash and dash, and probably going to get out now. Good job by that Yasuo getting around there.
Yeah, and there comes the skill with playing Yasuo when you're at a point like that. Like, he was literally cornered. Good on him to get out of that. Oh boy. I think that team Bruce City really needs to kind of just reset, reevaluate, and again, not get picked off. So now they're starting to lose momentum here, but then again, here we have Truffles with Vigar.
Yeah. And, ooh, almost gets the Orianna.
Misses it.
Yeah, Vegar's got to be really careful, though. Because, well, not only is there a Yasuo...
And here comes Master Yi.
Yeah, not only is there a Yi coming to eat him. Ooh! Oh, and Yi just heals. Of course.
Oh, sad day.
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying was that the Vegar is the one who has to be really, really careful here, as Lucian... Well, we'll see how this trade goes. He looks pretty low. Nice try with the dash. Yeah, I think a lot of the gimmicks might not be working out for Brew City anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they did have a plan, and it was capitalizing pretty good in the early game, but now it just seems like that they're falling apart.
I mean,
and again...
No,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, let's be fair. It's only, 14 minutes in.
For sure.
Cho has one stack, if that. Vagar's only at 92. So, I mean, there's a long way to go in this game, hopefully. And, they just need to, like you said, reevaluate, make a few more better decisions, and I think they'll be just fine. Though Blitzcrank going that far forward is one of them.
Yes, and Darien don't dash in the middle of a freaking wall from Prowler.
Good flash, though.
Nicely done. Okay,
Yeah.
able to capitalize on it. I apologize, sir.
I mean, the nice thing is that his cooldown on his dash is now much shorter than it was at the beginning, so he can capitalize with it a lot more. Vagar being a little more defensive with his more powerful abilities. Just trying to keep some distance, but they're going to lose that turret.
Sure. That Blitzcrank he's been able to land his hooks pretty well, but some of them have been kind of questionable as of late. I mean, how aggressive he was just before. Interesting how he's playing him. But, I mean, and we're probably going to see the Rift Herald go to White Wolf Gaming here.
Yeah, especially with that control ward blocking out any chance of stealing it. I'm not sure what Blitzcrank... Okay. Blitzcrank, don't go forward. You don't want to go forward.
Blitzcrank. Reevaluate. Hear me. Reevaluate. Assess the situation.
Okay.
He kind of assessed the situation. Okay, now he has teammates with
Yeah,
him.
he assessed waiting for friends. Oh, great ultimate there by the Orianna. They do manage to pick off 2 members of Brew, but we'll see at what cost. Almost 3. Shame Yasuo wasn't there. That's the kind of thing he lives for. Yi, of course,
And here comes an 3
the master of cleanup.
Joe thinking about trying to go help, but thinks better of it.
All right, sword fight.
Sword fight. Who is the better sword master?
Oh, it looks like it's
Yasuo.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be Yasuo. Waiting for that knockup.
Able to survive using the heal. Well done. Able for the teammates to come in to help out.
And that was just a level 1 heal, everybody. Let's consider that for a moment.
Yeah, I bet you that Yasuo was kicking himself after that.
Yeah.
All intents and purposes, he should have won that sword fight.
Well, it's always, you know, that's the 1v1 me bro situation, right? Where he probably would have been able to do it, but then the Orianna came in to help out, and that was the end of that.
For sure.
But I mean, there was some of that relatively better decision making that we were saying they needed to stay in this game. Cho didn't try to turn around to help the Veigar because he knew it was probably an unwinnable situation. And they decided to fall back rather than try to ambush the Yi and just let the Yasuo, you know, cover their retreat. It worked out relatively well. They've got a 2-for-1, prevented the Rift Herald from being taken.
It is still up though. They need to be a little bit more careful on that.
Yeah, they're getting sandwiched here.
For it.
Cho's getting taken up pretty easy there. Yeah,
And they're probably going to take Rift Herald just fine.
Yeah, I think part of the problem that now they're having is that the that Yasuo is busy farming bot lane.
You're not top lane, bud. You can't go on a business trip. You're the ADC of the team.
Right. I mean, don't tell Lucian that. But I mean, look at the gold leads here. Yasuo has the most gold of anyone else on the Brew City Brawlers, and he's not in the fights. That's a huge detriment.
Yasuo might wanna. Okay, they're going for a dragon. I was thinking that they were just gonna come up and step on that poor man.
They're probably gonna do it anyway. Alistar, you know.
Alistar can apparently 1v1 the ADC of the opposing team.
Good flash there by the Yasuo to get out of there. He should be able to do it. Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank may go down instead.
Buddy.
Good wall there. Yasuo's been doing some really good walls. Cho might get picked off now though. Nope, I think Cho's okay too. If Cho turns around and does not do that, there we go. All right, good job.
Giving us minor heart attacks here, Kenos.
All right, two Ocean Drakes taken. Good knock up there by the Cho, but probably not the best decision making due to his low health. Blitz now will go down 2. Wind wall the wrong way, but it didn't come up. Lucian's really trying to make something happen there, but unfortunately, too far forward, gets picked up. Yeah, this is definitely a game of positioning, and it would have been really cool to see how this team would have worked out in the late game. Because, like I said, I think they could make it work. But
again, they had to make it to the late game.
Yeah. Oh, Yasuo should be able to get. There we go. Yasuo gets the Zara. Gets a knockup there. A couple of knockups, actually. Bouncing knockups. We'll see how this goes. They should get the Alistar. Good knockup.
Nicely done. Okay.
So
Yasuo's coming to clean up.
Yeah, they managed to turn that around relatively well. I mean, they did lose their tower. Several towers. But, I mean, you know, all things said and done, that could have gone much worse. They could have lost Inhibitor, too. And they did pick up 3 kills from that.
Yeah. And if this is the point of the game, they're going to have to need to do it. Seriously, guys, take a step back. You're in a good position right now. You're not terribly far behind. Gold and kills might say otherwise, but, you know.
Spiritually, they're not very far behind.
Spiritually, yes. But if they're able to, I feel like that their team fight potential might be a little bit better in this game than the other one. Levels-wise, though, they're probably, not in a great spot for that. But
I mean,
again,
levels
I feel like. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say levels aren't necessarily terrible. I mean, Cho's two levels under Yi. That's true. But I mean, Yasuo's 11, Zaya's 11, Shuffle's 12. I mean, they're a little far behind, but they not necessarily an unassailable position. 2 stacks of Feast on the Cho, 152 stacks on the. I don't agree with that flash though.
Not at all.
Yeah, that was a really questionable choice there by by Shufflesaurus's Vigar.
Probably could have made something happen if he had his team with him, but unfortunately they were not there.
Yeah,
Looks like
the flash forward. I mean, that's good job by the Lucian securing that 1 kill. But I mean, at this point, it's a 4 for 1 and Baron.
Yeah, they lost that fight there.
And
Lucian's gonna have a tough time defending this.
looks like he's not even trying. Probably could have not even tried a little bit further away from the turret there.
Yeah.
Doing his glitch walking. Someone should probably fix that.
Fix? Come on.
Blitz tries to make a play and gets picked off. Good stun there by the Vagar. Yeah, I mean, I understand where Shufflesaurus was kind of coming from with that play. I mean, you feel like you're really far behind. For all intents and purposes, you are rather far behind. Lucian gets away with 30 hit points. But when you're like the lifeblood of your team in terms of, you know, damage potential and stuns, you don't necessarily want to dive in like that.
Yeah, that's gonna suck. Yeah, again, it seems like that Blue City Brawlers is just putting themselves in a corner right now. It's unfortunate, but
yeah, I mean, it must be rather frustrating. You know, you get this rather interesting team comp, you start doing well with it, and then one thing after another starts piling up against you, and suddenly you're 12k in the hole at 23 minutes.
Still, though, I mean, if they can somehow, by some grace, get to the late game, they might be able to pull themselves out of it if they can get a couple of picks off. But again, it seems like White Wolf is able to just. They're playing the buddy system right now.
Yeah, I mean, White Wolf is roaming very well.
Yep.
And I mean, like their best chance at a pickup might be Master Yi. And you know, when the best hope you've got of picking somebody off is a Master Yi, you may not be able to get that much done, especially because they don't have that much in the way of extraordinarily hard CC, at least not reliable hard CC.
Correct. Yep. Oh man.
But we'll have to keep an eye out and see where that goes. It looks as though they might be waiting for Fire Dragon, which is gonna. Oh. Alright, so the disconnection problems are not just for the blue team. We have learned this.
Right away.
Alright.
Yeah,
well,
whoever said that that blue side was having lag problems, that does not seem to be a problem anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. So once they restart here, once Yasuo gets back into it.
Yeah, it said he reconnected right away. Maybe having a little bit of a chat with the team. Oh boy. Anyways, Keno, so do you have any imaginary tips that, well, not imaginary tips, but any tips that can somehow make it to Brew City Brawlers for the position that they found themselves in?
Well, I'm hoping that they don't try to rush too heavily on the dragon here. They're still... Ooh, a little bit of lag spike there. They're you know, obviously in a bad spot, and I think what they should really try to do is pick off this Yorick. Because, I mean, he's alone, right? Yasuo and Cho could rotate up. There isn't too much in the way of wards in their jungle. But instead, I mean, rightfully so, they're reacting to the Baron buff push coming in their bot lane, because obviously that's where the priority is. But just, you know, keeping an eye out for that sort of work is kind of what they would need to do. Yorick, of course, is now uncontested up in the top lane.
For sure. But yeah, now we're seeing totally fine split pushing Yorick here. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough spot to get out of. Doing a relatively good job for it. Never mind. Master E showing off his master things.
Just Master E things.
Just Master E things.
Definitely a lot of damage coming out of Pentakill. There it is.
Penta. Didn't even say Penta. Ah, man.
Alright, so
Good games all around.
yeah, a little bit of a rough game there for Brew City. Well, both were, to be perfectly honest. But you know, they had the damage potential in that second game particularly. It's just a shame that they couldn't capitalize on it in any significant way.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate. But again, they had an interesting team comp, and again, it might have worked out for them if they were able to stick with it for a little bit longer. But unfortunately, that was just not in the cards tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems as though we are going to be having a an interview here with Prowler, the lovely Yorick from the previous game. So we'll just hop right over there and have a quick chat with Prowler. Hey, Prowler.
Hey,
Really good job with both of those games. Congratulations to you and your team.
absolutely. Thank you for the compliment.
Of course. Well, I want to talk about game two just right away. What was your reaction to going up against the Lucian top lane?
Oh, we were very curious what was going on. Immediately, we're thinking Yasuo was the top laner and Lucian was going to be the bot, and we're looking at the champions. They never swapped, so we're ready to pause the game and looking for clarification on if champions can change roles or what the plan was. When we saw it was Lucian top and Yasuo bottom, immediate shock was the issue, and then we had to prepare for the Blitzcrank invade. So you didn't have enough time to really process it. It was just like, okay, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you were probably as speechless as we were in the casting booth. I mean, were you worried at all that the Lucian was coming up against your Yorick? I mean, you seemed to handle it pretty well, besides the poke here and there. But what was going through your mind once you actually processed that?
The poke was rough. Having a champion that can dodge out of Yorick's wall is always a detriment to his playstyle. Obviously Yorick's looking to get you trapped in the wall, drop his ult, and then beat you down while he's in there. So going up against a champion that was able to get out was definitely rough. I was really worried about it, to be honest. But just staying safe and letting my team kind of carry me through to the end definitely helped me out a lot.
And what was your team's reaction to then the Yasuo bot? What kind of chat commentary were you guys having about dealing with that?
We were going to talk about ganking it plenty. Yasuo obviously has issues dealing with ganks, but with the Blitzcrank down there, it was a big worry. And we had better rotations with Yi going to the mid and the top lane. Even if he wasn't getting home, it just was a better option. Shock was the initial thing. We didn't really know what was going on. And then you just got so worried about it that it just became that's what you're playing against. There was no planning around it, I guess. We just dealt with it, and both Evan and Al, our bot lane duo, did a fantastic job handling it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, well done to you guys all around. I mean, able to go up against a comp like that. Again, we were even talking in the box that we were saying like really the late game was going to be points where it was probably going to be more threatening than it was in the early game. You guys shut them down before that even happened, though.
Yeah, hats off to the team. We just played an outstanding game. I can't say enough about Erratic Pubic Hair's play on both Evelyn and Yi was just outstanding, especially getting the pentakill at the end. I was screaming during that. I'm glad no one was listening to me. I'm sure the neighbors are a little displeased.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the pentas, especially out of jungles like that, because the jungle presence I think was really important for both of your games. Especially like those Yi follow-ups for the cleanups and things of that nature.
The second game especially too, because Cho'Gath kept coming into our jungle. It was really nice to have the wards to observe it. I know one time Cho'Gath dropped a control ward and Erotic Pubic Hair was right there ready to take it. And then just being able to collapse. We had enough vision that we always knew where they were. You'd see Yasuo with split bots. We had the 5v4 and able to collapse on that. Really put our team ahead, and it's a big part of the reason we got to win.
All right. Well, excellent. Well, once again, congratulations. And I believe that I'll be doing casting with you for Game 3. So I'll see you then.
Oh, 100%. You're stuck with me. Sorry about that.
All right.
Stuck. What a poor choice of words. But yeah, I'll be heading off, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Nickel, always a pleasure. And you can get the last word before we head to the break.
Last word.
Last word.
Nah, I'm kidding. Thanks for having me, guys. Hope the next game is going to be as great as the first 2 games were. But yeah, everybody have a good night.
All right. Excellent. And like I said, quick break here, and we'll move right into the next set of games. Stay tuned.